everybody. Good afternoon to you. How are you? So, it's a beautiful day here in Oregon. It's nice and sunny outside. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. It's a perfect day to get out and do things. Wherever you guys are in the world, I hope you guys are going out and enjoying the good weather. Winter is over, spring and summer are here, and it's time to get out and be more active. But where am I? I am inside, and I was in the process of looking around to make another intro for my channel. I really enjoy the intro that my friend Erie Pepperoni made for me, the intro that I use for my videos. That was made by Erie. Full credit to Erie. She's a wonderful, creative person. The stuff she puts together is so hilarious. She also made the intro that I use for the tarot reading. She made that too. So love you for that, Erie. You're so talented. But I wanted to make some other intros for the channel as well. So I was looking around doing that, looking around for some music and some clips to put together. And wouldn't you know, Shantal went live. Now, here's the good news. The good news is the live did not last that long. It was about 43 minutes. The bad news is she's got a live scheduled at 9 o'clock tonight. What's interesting about the live is that the title is called Lunch. So she's eating lunch at 9 p.m. Weird, but okay. I want to go over the newest live, though, the ones that she just did, and give my thoughts to it, as well as include the cool stuff that I find on Twitter. So I hope you guys are okay with that. And as I mentioned in the last tarot live that I did last night, on top of Chantal's content, I'm going to be introducing you guys to other people. And I hope that you find them interesting. If you don't, it's perfectly fine. For those who were not part of the tarot live last night, and if you'd like a brief summary of the readings that I did and what the cards were telling me, let me just sum it up in a few words or a few sentences, just to give you a brief overlay. So, what were the cards telling me about Chantal? Well, for those of us that we have the feeling that she's up to something, the cards confirmed, yes, she's up to something. Now, here's the interesting twist. She's not up to something in the way of just one specific thing. Like, she is essentially in flux. Like, she has no definite plans. There's nothing solid. There's nothing set in stone. Uh, from what the cards were saying to me, she's essentially doing the call to action thing right now, where she's calling in favors. She's leaning very heavily on different people for different things, her family members, her friends, maybe people on YouTube. She is calling in favors, and she's seeking out anybody that can help her because she is in a very bad way right now. So she's looking towards people, and she might be using the angle of, I helped you, now it's your turn to help me. Also, the cards let me know that the last reading night that I did, that pointed in the direction of, she is basically in between Natter and Salah. That is still very much going on. She's playing sugar mama to both men. Now, I know the question you guys want to ask me is, how can she do that? I mean, she doesn't have that much money anymore. Well, considering the state of Natter and Salah, they strike me as desperate men that it doesn't matter if she's got a nickel in her pocket, they want it. So you've got Fraudy in between both of them, and money is going back and forth between the two. And essentially, it's a tug of war over her finances. Whatever little bit that Fraudy might have, each man wants it. So there is a bit of a power struggle. And it looks like Natter is winning. Salah, he screwed up. He got caught. He got busted. He got exposed. And the moment that that happened, Natter got more control and influence over Foodie. And Dee Dee is just going along for the ride. Whatever Natter wants to do, however way that Natter can get money out of her, she's all on board with that because it benefits her. So there's money changing hands. There's the power struggle, the money struggle. Both men wanting her money, wanting to control her and her money. It's just a big old mess. You know, there's different people around Shantal that are helping her. She's leaning in on those people. She's in a bad way. She's uh, seeking out anyone that is resourceful, that has resources, that has help to help her, because she's not helping herself. She knows what to do. She knows how to do it. She's just unwilling to do it. But at the same time, she's reaching out to other people with this uh, vibe of, you know, I'm a damsel in distress. I'm in the water drowning. Somebody please help me. Although she's not willing to do what she knows she needs to do to help herself. So there's a brief summary of some of the readings that I gave last night. So those of you that want to catch up, there's your catch up. That way, if you don't want to watch the 2.5 hour live, you don't have to. So why don't we just get into it? So I have been on Twitter, looking around on Twitter, gathering up some clips, gathering up some thoughts. And I wanted to do something new to give proper credit to the people on Twitter sharing their thoughts. So before we get into the section with the Twitter clips, let's just play this. Yay! So we're going to do the Twitter clips now. And let me just share my screen because I've already got it ready to go. All right. So there is the Bird app. There's not a whole lot to go through, but there are some cool things. So why don't we just start here with Sweet Kristen saying, ma'am, this waddle challenge was literally from 3 months ago. You had to go through 3 months worth of your content to find one video of you waddling for weight loss. You're ridiculous. So did she rehash old content again? I know she did it yesterday. She did a vlog and she showed a vlog from 2 years ago added at the end to make sure it was long enough to monetize. Did you do that again, Chantal? Are you actually going back to your old content and putting it in with the new content to make money off of it? How hard is it to make a 10-minute video? To just find anything to do, talk about anything for 10 minutes. Is it really that difficult? I'm a little bitty channel. I don't have the kind of money that you do. Yet I can do a tarot live for like 2.5 hours and time just flies by. Why is it so difficult for you to do 10 minutes worth of footage? Why? Lazy. Okay, so Sarah Abby says nobody told her they enjoyed her video. And if they didn't, it was one person and she used it as an excuse to play old footage because she has no content. I agree with that. She's got her phone. She's got her car. She can go anywhere. She can do anything. Canada is so big. If you're a YouTuber, a content creator, what a blessing to live in a place like Canada. There's everything everywhere. There are beautiful forests, there's snow, there's the culture, there's the people, there's the food. Like there's so much diversity of every kind. Yet she's not interested. She just wants to sit in a room and do nothing but eat. Every vlog she does includes food in some way, and she's just not getting it. That her addiction and her obsession with food is not our addiction. It's not our obsession. We are not consumed by food. That's why we find it boring. Anybody outside of herself in the food fetish people, we find this boring. You would think with the views going down and the interest going down that would send a clear message, but I guess not. She is dogged determined to stick to the same content, and she does not care if it means she's losing thousands of dollars a month by doing so. She's determined to feed her obsessions and her addictions and not put any work into herself. It's a choice. It really is a choice. Fondue Pondu says, Foodie Beauty. So F all to vlog in Canada. So we are just reposting already posted vlogs at this point. Is this against terms of service? I think so. I'm not sure though. So here is the community post that Foodie did saying, "Hi guys, I received some comments from my viewers that they enjoyed the mall bees video from the other day." What? What other day? And then I don't do those things in Kuwait. So I thought I'd share some videos of me in Kuwait where I do stuff. This is old stuff, Foodie. This is older stuff. You're a YouTuber. You want your channel to thrive, do you not? So do you think that's going to happen with old content? No, ma'am. No. No, like it takes nothing to make a 10-minute video, so get on it. Wonder Mom, and this is a still from the newest video today, saying the bread is high in fiber. Foodie tells us of eating half a loaf of high carb bread. I mean, come on, she's even joking about having a diabetic health emergency, so she will be fine. She tells us she can't avoid carbs because it's bad for her health. Well, we all need healthy carbs. Carbs are where you get your fuel, but you don't need that much in the way of carbs. And if you are a diabetic, you got to be very, very careful with that. You got to be very careful of anything that will raise your blood sugar. That Shantal, you just had that massive poutine the other day. You know, the French fries coated in the cheese and the sauce. That should be enough carbs for a week, mama. You don't need any more. Like, but you are a carb addict. Okay, it takes one to know one. I used to be heavily into carbs. So are you. Okay, I see you. I see what you're doing. You are a carb addict. And carbs convert to sugar in the bloodstream. That's why your blood sugar is always so high. It's the sugary drinks. It is the foods that are high in carbs. You really need to cut that out. Seriously, you do. Acadia Strong says she grieved when it suited her and to get sympathy from her VIB idiots. Who can forget the outfit she had on for the memorial? I will never forget that outfit. For those that weren't around for that time, when Chantal's grandmother died, when they had the funeral, in my opinion, she went to the funeral dressed so inappropriately. It was so inappropriate. She wore a dress that was so short that if she had bent it over, you'd be able to see all, and I mean all of her business. You could tell by that dress she was not wearing underwear. It it was a sleazy outfit. It was not appropriate for a funeral. But that's what she wore to the funeral memorial. Just dressed all sleazy and skanky and inappropriate. And it just, I don't know if she was doing that for attention, but she's got money. Surely she could afford a pair of black pants and a black top and jacket or a long dress or something. But yeah, she was doing the most at grandma's memorial. I'll never forget that. Fondue Pondu also says, keep an eye on Tracy TX. I'm telling you, she's Kai Bella 2.0. Also, Vamp Diva is a weird person. So let's take a look at what they're talking about. So Tracy X, I guess this is during the live I'm about to cover. Tracy says, how will you live if he dumps you? Don't hate me for asking. Well, that's a valid question, actually. That she's a mod, and she's asking a valid question. How will you live if he dumps you? Well, I guess she might latch on to Pete's. I think that is going on. In the tarot readings that I was doing last night, I got very curious about Pete's. Like, because he's been in the picture. We know he's been in the picture. The trip that she took out where she went and she mentioned a bookstore, I immediately said comic book store. I remember how Foodie used to take Pete to the comic book store because, he's a bit of a nerd. Nothing wrong with that. He loves his comic books. He likes the action figures and things like that. For a treat, she used to take him up there and he'd buy his comic books. She buys some for him. I think that she's leaning heavily onto Pete's. The tarot reading I did last night said that he has got his hopes up. Like he's really got his hopes up with Shantal right now. She's getting his hopes up. He's really thinking that at some point that they'll live together again, and he's going to find out the hard way that Fraudy is latching onto him to get something. What that something is, I do not know. Maybe she's trying to get him to give her money as much as possible or get into a new place or something. Whatever it is she's asking for, once she gets what she wants, she's going to do the okay, bye thing. Because she's in contact with Natter. That's really what her focus is to be close to Natter. In fact, she is close to Natter. Pete's is going to be crushed when that happens. Not if, when. So Shantal, she is just giving lip service to everybody around her. Her family, Pete's, Salah. She's saying whatever it is she needs to say to get whatever help she needs. And then like any true narcissist, once she gets it, she's going to be, disappearing into the wind. But going back to Tracy, asking the question, how will you live if he dumps you? Well, that's up to her, isn't it? She's a 40-year-old woman. She's got to figure it out somehow, sometime, right? I think so. Like if she ends up living out of her car, that's her fault. All that money that she's made the past 8 years on YouTube, she never put any away. She indulged herself for years and years. Does anybody have any sympathy for Fraudy? Because I don't. I really don't. I will have sympathy for someone that they really, really try. And despite trying really hard and doing their best, something bad happens, something out of their control, and they fall down a hole and they need help getting back up. I will give sympathy and compassion to somebody like that all day long. Someone like her, nope. I can't give it to her. She came to her VIBs and she said, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. I'm moving into a new place. Send whatever you can. And she got whatever money from them. But ever since then, she's been pretty bold and brass. Coming online, eating takeout, eating fast food. These are things you don't do when you're truly broke. I've been through some hard times, and I'm sure some of you in my audience, you've been on hard times. You know what it is. You know what it feels like. If you don't have much money in your pocket, that goes for necessities. You're going somewhere and you're focused on making sure you have enough food, your family has enough food, the bills are paid. You are doing what you can to stretch every dollar, dime, nickel, and penny in your pocket. If she were truly broke, her butt would be going to the dollar store and loading up on staples to last a while. If she's over there eating takeout and drive-through food, no, she's not broke because that's expensive. Broke people don't do that. They just don't do that. So don't tell me you're broke, Shantal, when your behavior tells me otherwise. Don't tell me, mama, I ain't listening to you. Okay, so here's another comment from Tracy TX. Tracy says, I mean, you just don't know what the future holds because I think about those things. Plus, I do think about a lot of negative things. You know what, VIBs? Listen, I know some of you care about Shantal, but you gotta wake up and drink the pot of coffee in front of you. You just have to. When are you guys gonna wake up that you care more about her than she cares about herself? She's never cared about herself. But she wants all of you to care for her and worry over her and be stressed out over her. There's never going to be a freaking moment where you tune into her channel and it's all good. It's all gravy. Except for the brown gravy. You'll find plenty of that. But you're never going to be able to tune in and it's relaxing. It's peaceful. There's never going to be a moment where you don't have to worry about this woman. And she purposely structures it that way to where you are worried about her. And that's the reason why you're tuning in. She uses your worry against you. It's emotional manipulation. She wants you all to stress out. She wants that to be the reason why you tune into her. You will never have that moment where you tune in and Foodie says, "Hey, I'm good. I got enough money. I'm not broke. I know what's going on here. I'm taking care of myself. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. I don't need any help." That will never happen with her. She paints this picture of the damsel in distress. Oh, trust me, she's not. She's a con artist. Wake up. You're dealing with a con artist and a scammer who will make you worry and take your money and then do diversion tactics to make you forget about the fact she stole from you. Go back to her history. The Postcard Club told everybody, I'll, you guys subscribe for $10 a month. I'll send you a postcard when I go traveling. That never happened. Had people sign up on Twitch, made sure to get them subs, and then did not stream on Twitch. Then setting up an OnlyFans twice. Said she'd make all kinds of content and do streams on there. That didn't happen. Use the excuse, "Oh, I don't know how to stream on OnlyFans." You know what? It took me all of 2 minutes to look up what was required to stream on OnlyFans. You know what you need to stream on OnlyFans? A stream key. That is so simple. You enter the stream key into OBS and you're good. It's just that easy. I found that answer in seconds. And she lied and said, "I can't figure it out." She never intended to stream on OnlyFans. She just wanted to get everybody signed up over there to get extra income out of people and do it on the down low. So she uses worry and stress against y'all. You're so worried for her. You're so stressed out about her. And she wants that. Because if you're worried, you'll keep tuning in. Y'all need to wake up. But going back to Tracy's comment, sorry, I got on my soapbox for a minute. She just irritates me. Listen, something to think about. We all know what happened with Kybella. We remember the text. Kybella, she's a bit of a troll. Now, I can't say for sure if she's still around because I don't know. I'm not privy to that information, nor am I going to go poking around to find out. But Kybella did say that she could be part of the VIBs and you would never know she was there. She could be hiding in the VIBs right now. No one would ever know. So who knows? She might be in the picture, she might not, but you never know. We might get Kybella 2.0. We might get Kybella in disguise. I don't know, but I do know there's a whole lot of people around Shantal. They know a whole lot of things about her. They got a whole lot of tea, and eventually somebody's going to talk. So we're waiting. We're waiting for the dirty tea. Whoever's got it, you need to throw it on the table before she gets to the table and she drops the tea. Anyway, let's keep going. Jolie says she's going to lunch, shopping, and therapy with her aunt's full day for me. Same awkward angle in the car, but shows her aunt's hand to prove it's her family. Of course, this is damage control. I see your BS, Chantal. Like she showed a hand, big deal. Julie also says, I think everyone should have access to help when struggling emotionally or with mental illness. Very much agree with that. However, the fact that Chantal didn't go to therapy pre-Kuwait, didn't go to therapy in Kuwait, just further proves it's all for show. Stop wasting resources, liar. I agree with that too. She had the money and the resources and the time and the car and the freedom to go to therapy way before Kuwait. She spent 2 years in Kuwait. Where was the therapy there? It's not like she had anything else to do. She knows what she needs to do and she's not doing it. I said it last night in my live. I think this whole therapy thing, that was for somebody else. That was for other reasons. Maybe Salah is getting on her case and said, hey, you need to go to therapy. You've got some issues you need to work out. I can't help you. You need to take care of this on your own. Maybe the family is saying that too. It felt like she was doing it to appease other people versus facing herself and getting herself together. We'll find out though, because if she's really into the therapy, she'll keep going. If she doesn't go anymore, we'll have our answer. All we got to do is wait, y'all. We just got to be patient. Mrs. Flupa Booty says, I'm sorry, but how is a sandwich made with half a loaf of bread, mayo, and 3 pounds of salty processed deli meat healthy? It really isn't. It really, really isn't. And something interesting from Holly Go Heavy. Foodie Beauty has what's known as Terry's nails. Now, this is an opinion. I'm not a doctor. I don't know for sure. Only Shantal and her doctor would know for sure, but this is this person's opinion. Foodie Beauty has what is known as Terry's nails. You can Google this. This is associated with liver disease and diabetes and looks similar to Lindsay's nails, which is an indication of renal disease. Minor clubbing has started as well. So let's look at the photos because I'm very interested in that. There's Chantal's hand right there. Okay. And here's some similar nails. I've never heard of Terry's nails. I've heard of clubbing, but I don't know what Terry nails is. And since I'm not Chantal's doctor and giving her tests, I mean, how do I know? WTF says you can tell by her grin that she doesn't even believe what she's saying. So let's watch the clip.
This is like a restart. I'm restarting like a journey to health, glow up, but I'm being realistic and starting with like, hi little nitty, thanks Elventi, with something small but effective, like planning what I'm going to eat. So planning.
Y'all give me a second. Now I'm drinking my iced coffee. Homemade iced coffee, by the way. Anybody that likes iced coffee, it's so easy to make it home. And it makes so much more sense than going to a Starbucks, but I digress. I'm getting off my soapbox about that. Let's go back to Shantal. My thoughts about Shantal. Shantal, we've been here before. We've heard this before. So many times. We've heard you say, oh, I'm taking little baby steps and I'm starting on a journey and I'm starting to care about my health and I'm being aware of my food. Let's get real. Let's get really, really real. Look in my face right now, Chantal. I know you watch my videos. Look, and I'm looking you dead in your face. I know you're watching. Look me in the eye and listen to me. I had a problem with food, not even as bad as yours. Your case is much more extreme than mine ever was. Mine went on until I figured out I had a problem with food. And once I figured out I had a problem with food, I wanted to stop the problem. I want to get on top of it. I didn't want it to continue. I didn't like the feeling of that roller coaster. I've been watching you. You do not have a true desire to quit. You really, really don't. I've been watching. I have not seen anything in your eyes, in your demeanor, in your energy that suggests you've reached that point where you've hit the wall and you're saying, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can't go on anymore. We're putting the brakes on. I haven't seen it. When you've got somebody in front of you that you can tell they're at their wits' end and they can't go any further, you just know. They got that kind of energy of like they're not going to go any further and they're going to start fighting the good fight. I'm not seeing it in you. You got a severe problem with food. And you got all kinds of factors connected to you, surrounding you, backing it up, reinforcing it, keeping it going. You've got the issue itself inside of you. You've got the bee monster in your head, and that bee monster, it knows what to say to justify having those bee moments. Then outside of your head, you've got all the temptations around you, food everywhere. You got apps on your phone. If you want food, boom, you can order something. You got your car. You can go anywhere and eat anything you want. On top of that, you've got people structured around you that act as your yes men. People like Salah, people like Natter. They want your problem to continue because as long as you're weak, as long as you are a food addict and you are indulging in your addiction and you're making money with it on YouTube and you're giving the money to them, it benefits them. Imagine, if you will, if you got on top of your problem, you really got your head straight. It would not benefit them anymore. If you really got your thoughts together, you got your addiction together, then more than likely you would look at the two of them and go, why am I paying you again? Neither one of you care about me. Why are you even here? I can do so much better. And they would no longer benefit. They want you to stay weak because it's financially beneficial to them. And then, of course, there's the food fetish people in your audience, the ones that go along with what's wrong with you. There's a system of they have a fetish, you fulfill their fetish, they get what they want out of you. So, of course, they're going to back you up on your bad behavior and they're not going to stop you. You're giving them something that they desire. But just because you are doesn't mean they care about you. If a person really cared about you, even somebody remotely, seeing that you have all these health problems, they would say, hey, ma'am, you're sick. Please don't make yourself sick. I care about you. Please stop making yourself ill. Please stop with this self-harm content. Please do something healthy. Whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a wife, a husband, if you care about somebody, the last thing you want to see, the last thing you're going to put up with is the person you care about hurting themselves in front of you. If they do, it'll be disturbing. If you care enough, you'll speak up and protest because you don't want to see anything bad happen to them. But every time I do a react to you and I watch the chat, are there people in your chat that care about you? They say they do, but then they turn around and talk about food with you. Who does that? Who mentions the source of a person's addiction to an active, raging addict? That is such a-hole behavior. It is. It drives me crazy. Oh, we like you, Shantal. We care about you. But yet they back up your bad behavior, seeing how sick you are. And you, being the idiot that you are, you're like, oh, they like me. They care about me. They're my friends. My beezers love me. No, they don't. Some of them really don't. They really, really don't. Because if they did, they would not back up and enable the addiction. They could give you support verbally and say, I want you to get healthy, but not talk about food with you and not mention food to you. They would not enable the thing that's hurting you, and they would not put it in your face, and they wouldn't mention it. You know, there's a way to support the addict and not support the addiction, not make it worse. But you talk about your journey. A journey implies you're going somewhere. You're not going anywhere, Shantal. You're not.
Helps so much for someone like me with food, with my particular food issues, because I am like obsessed with food planning and food and food, right? So this, I planned like in a neat little agenda.
Ma'am, if you're obsessed with food planning, like you're hyper fixated on food, like I don't know what happened in your life that you're so fixated on food. Like, are you running around thinking that if you don't eat every 2 hours, you're going to starve? You're not going to starve. You are a sedentary person. You need far less calories than you think you do. You're not burning calories like crazy. You being 500 plus pounds, almost 600, and I will die on that hill thinking that anybody that looks at a picture of her from 2018 and put it next to a picture of her from 2024, you can see it's 100 plus pounds difference more. She was almost 400 pounds then. She's well over 500 now. If you just cut down your calorie intake to say 2,000 calories versus 6,000, just having that calorie deficit, you would start to drop weight. Without exercise, you're making the situation worse.
And what I'm gonna eat throughout the day.
Like if you're not moving around, you don't need a bunch of calories, carbs included.
And so it's structured. It's still also structured, which is really good. And it's a bit of routine. And it also makes me like look forward to what I can have, for the
Okay, serious question. From somebody who had a food problem and mine's under control to somebody yourself that has a food problem and it's not under control. So you got these plans in mind. Don't know if you're being honest or not, but question on the chalkboard, Shantal. When you're alone at night and you're sad and you're depressed and you've got no one to talk to, and you're feeling stressed out because Salah's not picking up the phone for like the 70th time to reassure you that he's not with somebody, and it's late at night, and that bee monster starts whispering in your ear because that's when that doggone thing comes out, is mainly at night. I don't know why, it just does. But when it's like, say, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and you're alone, what's going to stop you from indulging? You got nothing. No coping skills, no coping mechanisms, no healthy routines. How are you going to push that bee monster back in its cage? You're not.
whole day. By the way,
Like, until you get that bee monster under control, there's no hope. Yup says Foodie Beauty is cranky and says she doesn't want to take Ozempic because I believe she won't be able to have bee moments. She said, I'd rather take my chances. Okay, and that's not a blank wish? Yeah, Chantal tried the Ozempic thing a long time ago, back when she was with Natter. And she stopped taking it because the Ozempic blocked her from having the bee moments. If she tried to overeat, it would make her nauseous. Also, as I understand it, Ozempic is not cheap. I was curious a while ago how much Ozempic costs. Ozempic is a really, let's put it this way, I could pay my rent twice for the amount it takes to buy 1 month's supply for Ozempic. Like, Ozempic can be well over $1,000. And I believe at the time her insurance covered it, but she stopped taking it. And then after the Ozempic, she got on the, and on that, she did manage to lose weight, but then she gained it all back. So the Ozempic, she would have to follow it up with diet and exercise. She doesn't want to do those things. So even if she took the Ozempic, there's really not much it can do for her. Yup says Foodie Beauty is live and says she's back in her health diet arc again while eating a huge sandwich and dropping chunks on herself. Yeah, you're really showing us that you're healthy eating, Chantal. If you want to show me that you are serious about your health, here's what you can do. Take that eating and do it off camera. And that way you can be more mindful about your food. By using food as content, using it to make money, capitalizing on a problem versus solving it, I'm never going to take you seriously because we know what group you're catering to and they like the fast food. And as long as they like it and as long as you're consuming it, your health is going to get worse because the feedy people, they don't pay for you to eat healthy food and get healthy. They pay for you to eat copious amounts of food. The more unhealthy, the better. And right now, you don't need it. Yup Yup says Foodie Beauty saw a therapist not to talk about her mania, depression, irrational mood swings, chronic impulsivity, poor anger management, or pathological lying. No, it said she was only seeking justification from another person for returning to Kuwait. What does that tell you? Well, I'm sure the therapist only heard a little tiny slice of what's going on with her. If she was looking for someone to justify her going back to Kuwait, she's going to go back there if she can, regardless. You know, it's driving her crazy that she doesn't know what Salah's up to. She so wants to control him. Okay, so that's it for all the Twitter stuff. That took a little while. Sorry. But let's get into her actual live stream. Okay, and we'll skip ahead and cut out most of it if it's boring. I'm starting in at like the 7-minute mark to cut out her eating. She ate a huge sandwich. I don't think you guys want to see that. I don't think you need to see that. I don't think you need to see her stuffing her face. We're cutting that out. We're starting in at 7 minutes and we'll scoot ahead if she gets too boring. Let's go.
This is like a restart. I'm restarting like a journey.
Okay, this is funny. This is so funny. Y'all seeing what's going on over here? A moderator turned on subscriber only mode. And then they went further. A moderator turned on slow mode. Why are you turning on slow mode? You're not getting that many people in your lives. Look, look down here. An hour ago, she got 447 views. There weren't that many people in the chat room. Why were you turning on slow mode, acting like she's busy? Stop.
To health, glow up, but I'm being realistic and starting with like, hi little nitty, thanks Elventi, with something small but effective, like planning what I'm going to eat. So
I still want to know how she's going to stick to that program. If she's trying to do planning, if she gets low on cash and she needs cash, and if a feedy person contacts her and says, hey, Shantal, I want to see you eat a tub of spaghetti and meatballs, and I'll pay you X amount. Do you think she's going to turn that down for the sake of her health? She's going to say, okay, pay for the meal, buy the meal for me so she gets free food. Then she'll do the video, get paid for that, then turn around and put the video on YouTube to make extra money. You know, because she double dips like that. But how is she going to maintain her health if she's catering to people that are all about destroying her health?
Planning helps so much for someone like me with food, with my particular food issues, because I am like obsessed with food planning and food.
And you know what? You should have stopped right there when you said, I'm obsessed with food. Forget the rest of the sentence. Just stop right there. I'm obsessed with food. That would be the truth. You're not obsessed with food planning. You are obsessed with food. You are obsessed with putting as much down your gullet as possible and stretching out your stomach. You think that anything that's, if you got even a pocket of space in your stomach, that you're starving. You're not starving. You're okay. It's okay to not have your stomach overfull and overstretched. If you're hungry, it's not that hard to get more food. What is this obsession with eating too much? You act like you're in the middle of the desert and there's no stores or fast food restaurants or anything around you. There's food everywhere. You can slow down and relax on it.
Food, right? So this, I planned like in a neat little agenda what I'm going to eat throughout the day. And um so it's structured. It's still also structure, which is really good. And it's a bit of routine, and it also makes me like look forward to what I can have, for the whole day. But
Okay, here's the flaw in her plan. She's got an active, raging issue with food. We all know that. I don't even have to say that out loud. But, and I've seen Shantal do this, when it comes to her food issue, she will do things so that later on she can justify doing other things that are not good for her. For example, she might say, drink a couple of bottles of water just so she can justify having a can of soda. Or she'll eat, like, say, a Subway sandwich. And in her mind, after eating that sandwich, the bee monster backs it up and says, well, you ate a sandwich and it wasn't that bad. So because it wasn't that bad, it wasn't as bad as your usual. That means you can have an entire pizza. Go for it. You were good. It's time to reward ourselves. Finding ways and shortcuts to indulge in things you really shouldn't be indulging in and justify doing it. Rationalize it. And I'm sure she's doing that. Like, she's eating the sandwich right now. And she's probably thinking, I'm eating a sandwich. It's not bad. It's somewhat healthy. So later on, she's going to have a major B moment and justify it in her head.
still, I'm trying to pick, like, I'm trying to eat, like, drink, like, only water, no diet soda, no juices, nothing like that.
What about your Starbucks? You want to talk about that? You mean to tell me that you're in Canada and you're not going to Starbucks anymore? I'll believe that when I see it. I bet you are going to Starbucks. The last time you were in Canada, like, you went to Starbucks every day, sometimes twice a day. You started off getting like one huge venti coffee drink, and then you graduated to double fisting those drinks. You would spend 20, 30 bucks at a time at Starbucks. I'm sure they loved you for their profit margins.
And like little things like this, like little tweaks to begin with. So, you know, um, yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, can I just address this? So, a person in her chat named Brenda says, do you still allow bees cheat days? She's a diabetic. She shouldn't be having what she calls cheat days. When your health is critical, you can't have cheat days, and you shouldn't be beezing. Because we know what she means when she beezes and when she has cheat days. That means she's going wild with the food, which leads to her going to a hospital and wasting resources that might have gone to somebody else, like going in for insulin, going in for medication, using the medical system to correct her incorrect eating. When she chases her blood sugar up to a dangerous level, she'll go to a hospital and sit there, get the insulin, get whatever, and then turn right around and do it all over again. So she doesn't need to be having cheat days or bees days. She's 40 years old. The whole beezing thing is ridiculous anyway. Acting like a little kid. Oh, I'm beezing. I'm being so bad. Shantal, you're an older woman. Start acting like one. Take care of yourself. You're not a little kid. I know in your head you want to go back to the days of childhood when somebody else took care of you, but those days are over and have been over, and it's time to grow up, honestly. And it's not cute watching a 40-year-old woman act like a naughty child.
I don't know. So this big, huge sandwich, yeah, I was planning on having this for a while. Man, you have to eat this. If you ever come in the area, you have to. They have all kinds though, all kinds of sandwiches, but they make everything.
That's ridiculous, that sandwich. That sandwich was made with what's called Texas toast, and those slices of bread are huge.
I don't know about the turkey though. I don't think they can make a turkey.
What happened to just a simple sandwich with this is so stupid. Y'all, miss, I'm so broke over here. I don't know how much you paid for that sandwich, but you know what, Chantal? You could have gone to like the dollar store or a store, gotten some bread, some mustard, some mayonnaise, some lunch, some cold cuts. So made your own sandwich for the same price and had enough for a week.
Keep You're on Zoloft for clout.
That's ridiculous.
Look at this.
That sandwich is stupid. Look at it. I mean, how do you even eat that? I know she's got a big mouth and she can unhinge her jaw, but man.
Sandwich. Oh my god.
Why do I have a feeling a feedy guy paid for that? Because somebody had to have paid for that. She didn't do it.
Gosh. Okay, here we go.
That sandwich is so big. Did you guys just hear that? The jaw clicking? Her unhinging her stupid jaw for that? That means it's too big for your mouth, Chantal. Cut it up.
The bread is high in fiber. Anyway, I can't avoid carbs altogether because I don't want to have ketoacidosis.
But you don't have to have that many all at once, Chantal. You can space it out, and there's healthy carbs. I'm sorry, that's not healthy carbs.
Is that how you get it?
And that there's no portion control here. It's half that sandwich, maybe, but all of it, no.
Stephanie, that might be your best bet. You know?
I thought she was done eating. She ate there's two halves of that sandwich, and I've zipped past the first half, so we're going to eat the other half. Doggone it. Ugh! I hate watching her eat. Like, why does she have to turn every live and every video into a mukbang? Why can't she just separate the content? That way, those people that are interested in the mukbangs can watch, and those that aren't, they don't have to watch it. Why can't you separate the content, Chantal?
I'm gonna have a nap. 1,500? 1,200, 780.
So I guess people are giving the calorie count for the sandwich. You got people saying 1,200 calories for the sandwich. Some saying 1,500. Just to put things in perspective, I'm 5'3", about 130 pounds. My calorie intake, depending on my activity level, should be between 1,700, 1,800, maybe 2,000 a day. And this is one meal for her. And if she's eating a 1,500 calorie sandwich, that's nearly all of my calories for the day.
You know what? It probably does have a ton, right? When you think about it.
I hate her stuffing her face. Can we get past that? I don't care what you... That's a great face. Can you hold still, Chantal? I need that face for my thumbnail. Just hold still, mama. Just hold still. I love it. I love it. Give me a second. I'm afraid that if I go back later, I won't be able to see that face. Okay, keep going.
And then like a light dinner.
Chantal, a little advice. If you're eating something and your mouth is so full that your jaw is making those clicking noises, that means you've got entirely too much in your mouth. If you take smaller bites, it won't make that noise.
Or later. And no snacking. Is better than what I would normally do. So Really, Jody? 80 calories for one slice of bread?
Getting past the food. God, the jaw clicking. Quit it. Eat off camera, please.
Good night, Wilma.
Getting past this crap. I can't stand it.
That was that was so good. They have homemade soup, they have good potato salad. They have tuna, egg salad is really good. I don't know, they have a whole bunch of different kinds.
Okay, I'm going to give my thoughts on her meal. Was it as bad as what she normally eats? No. But here's the problem with someone like Shantal that has a severe issue with food. That sandwich was just a snack. That sandwich could have filled up any one of us watching this video. To her, that was just a snack. And while I'm watching her, I was watching her face. You see, when you have a problem with food, you're waiting for that brain explosion, the dopamine to hit. Certain foods, certain items will trigger that, and some won't. So she just ate the sandwich to eat it. But watching her face, she didn't have that moment where she was off in space somewhere. She did not get that dopamine explosion. So you know what that means? That means she ate the food to eat it. But that bee monster is not going to be happy until it gets its dopamine hit.
There's a wicked sandwich you can get. It just ask for a cheese sandwich.
You know why I'm laughing? So she just turned on slow mode, right? You guys saw the beginning of the video. But why? I can keep up with the chat, no problem. Why was slow mode activated? If there's hardly anybody in the chat, make it make sense.
The channel's analyzing shadows and thumbs. Huh? I didn't gain weight in Kuwait. No.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Do I have to go back to my Twitter and show those photos again? You know what? Liar. Lying liar. Who lies? I know you watch my videos, Shantal. Hold on. Wait a minute. I showed this on my feed yesterday. But just to remind you, we're going back. Oh, yes, ma'am, we are. Give me just a second. I'm looking for the picture. There it is. There we go. Okay, stop the screen for a minute. Hey, pictures don't lie. Shantal lies, but pictures don't lie. Where are we at? There we go. Let's blow this baby up. I didn't gain any weight in Kuwait. Oh, you didn't? Do pictures lie, Shantal? Are we making up theories about this? Is this a conspiracy theory? Allegedly? There's no allegedly here. Look at the picture on the top left compared to the picture on the right. Those are a year apart. Here you are, 2023. Here you are, 2024. Anybody could look at these two pictures and see there's a lot of weight going on here. This is not just 20 extra pounds. This is not just 30 extra pounds or even 50. It's a lot. And down here on the bottom right, this person took you 2023, put it in front of you 2024 and look at the difference in your body size. Like the difference in front, that is massive. That is a huge, huge difference. So you didn't gain any weight, huh? You didn't gain any weight? And that's courtesy of 4F Beauty and Lifestyle. Full credit to them. Full credit. So you didn't gain any weight in Kuwait. Being in Kuwait wasn't bad for you, huh? Well, looking at those pictures, I don't think that being in Kuwait was the best for you either. It was disastrous, but whatever. Let's go back.
The highest weight I've ever been, 402, was when I lived in Canada.
That's the highest weight you'd ever admit to. When you were with BB in 2018, you were at 377 pounds. That was your last true weigh-in. Also, when you lived at the villa with Pete's even told on you. He dry snitched. He showed us the scale was scaled back about 70 to 100 pounds. You teared the scale all the way back because there's something in your brain that even though you're catering to the food fetish people and they will go wild if you said your true weight, for some reason you want to have 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in another, where you want to cater to the fetish people and gain weight, but you want to deny that you're gaining weight. And I think you have an obsession with the 300s because that was the weight that you were at back when you were with BB, and you are in denial over the fact that all of your out of control eating, you've gained a lot since then. And it's made you unhealthy. You're just in a state of maybe emotional, mental denial of, I didn't gain weight. I didn't gain weight. Well, if you didn't, why is it that you're having trouble finding clothes to fit? Why is it that your mobility and your breathing is so heavily affected? Why are you feeling numbness in your legs? Why is it that when you walk a short distance, your face gets red? I mean, these were things that never happened before. Clearly, there's something going on here.
At the villa. Then I lost some weight, but I was always like, I was about the same weight. Like I was
No, lies. Lies.
380, I think.
No. Nope. Shantal, I watched you in the villa when you would do the white powder all day and then take thousands of milligrams in edibles at night, and you would sit there and eat and eat and eat for hours. You ate 10,000 calories at a time on a few occasions. And you're going to sit there and tell me you only gained a few pounds? Lies detected.
Between 375 and 380 in
No.
Canada. And then when I moved there, I'm like between 3.
You know what? Put your money where your mouth is. If you're at 380, get on a scale and prove it. Show us. Come on. Come on. Really simple. Get a scale that can go up to 600 pounds. Don't mess around with it. And show us your weight. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
66. Remember at the doctor when I got weighed? It was 366.
Yeah. And I noticed that, listen, we already know. You held on to the cabinet. You know, like maybe you had 1 foot off of the scale. And it was interesting that when you did your weight, where were the doctors and the nurses in the room? Normally when you go to the doctor and they have to weigh you, and they have to do that to make sure that you get the right dosage for the right medication. They got to take your weight. Where was the doctor and the nurse to be right there to write down the number? You were by yourself in that room. So you were in that room alone for some reason. And we could see your shadow. You were holding on to the cabinet. You were fudging your weight, Shantal.
So if you actually look at the facts and not just,
There's no facts.
Whatever else.
Now, you want to see facts? I just showed a picture. That's facts. That's undisputable facts. You can't argue with a photo. They don't lie. A photo is not a hater, it's not a lover, it's just a reflection of you, and your reflection has changed in the course of a year.
But it's still too heavy. It's still not healthy, obviously. Like the health problems, they come. So I have to like really freaking work my butt off.
You need to go to inpatient. You need people around that will be the control since you don't have it. You need people around that will tell you no and control your food intake and do the food portions. You can't do it on your own. We see what happens to you when you have too much freedom and too much choice. You make the wrong choices. If you want honest, positive change, you've got to give up control to other people because you are out of control, period.
Exercising and I'm at least sticking to my medical appointments and I'm getting a lot of things taken care of. Um, there's a few health issues I'm getting taken care of. I don't really want to talk about them. Like, I want some privacy when dealing with my health. I just find it helps my anxiety.
You know what? As far as her not talking about her health issues, is it her business? Can she keep it private? Normally, yes. Like she's a person. She can talk about whatever she wants or not talk about something. But Shantal is the kind of individual that if she doesn't talk about something, it's because she's done something wrong and she doesn't want to confess to it, or she's doing something shisty, or if she puts something on the table, she knows that once she puts it on the table, she can't take it off the table. So if she comes to her audience and she reveals some kind of health issue, like say, if she came to her audience and said, look, I've got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and most of my liver is compromised, badly compromised. After that point of revealing that, if she came on camera and ate something she wasn't supposed to, the audience, the ones that actually give a crap, would get on her case, and she just doesn't want to hear it. So if she's keeping something like that private, it's because she knows that if she reveals it, you put it on the table, it's a topic of conversation, and people are going to hold her accountable. She doesn't want to be held accountable.
So yeah. So that's that. I have to take my medication now, actually.
Why can't you do that off camera?
Not eating sugar and fried foods. Wow, nice. Yeah, I'm trying to cut sugar. Although I really was daydreaming about. Actually, this is a Jolly Rancher, has sugar, but it's small. I was daydreaming about a double scoop of salted caramel ice.
Yeah, that happens too. I know this sounds really messed up, but I actually had that issue too. Like when I had my issue going on, I would literally dream about food. I don't know what. That's the bee monster being a jerk. I would dream about food. I once had a dream about eating peanut butter cheesecake. I've never had peanut butter cheesecake, but I was eating it in my dreams. And when I woke up, I wanted it. Thank goodness I didn't have access to any, but I'm like, why am I dreaming about this item I've never had? That is the addiction effing with you. Hard.
Cream. It's so hard in life. No, I hate saying that. I take that back 100%. If that's my issue, if that's what's hard, that's pathetic. When there's people going through so much worse. Ivana Rockhart, welcome to Very Important Beezers. Ready, set, bees! Wow, Idaku, that sounds good. Ben & Jerry's peanut butter cup ice cream.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Right here. You get this person, Sarah Jean, saying, Ben & Jerry's peanut butter ice cream is my weakness. Hey, I get it. It sounds delicious, but why talk about that with Shantal? She loves sugar. You're talking about ice cream. Are you crazy? Because you're talking about ice cream, she's probably going to go out and get ice cream.
Is your weakness? Sweets are not my favorite over salty or fried, but I still like some things like salted caramel ice cream and a waffle cone. Or I don't know. Kitty McWow, thank you. Yeah, Amelia, it was a gift.
Like she's got a Jolly Rancher in her mouth right now. That's sugar. That's candy. That's a real slippery slope. You're eating candy. What comes next?
Ah, hot tea. You were Elventi? Eleventi? What video?
Hurry up, Shantal. You're being boring.
Hey. Do you want to be my pet while I'm here?
No. You don't need pets.
Dali on.
A person who is so badly in shape, a person who has such poor health that they literally go on the hunt for a man to act as their cheap caretaker does not need a pet. If you're in a position where you cannot take care of yourself, Chantal, you're having trouble with that, you don't need a pet because a pet is something that depends on you. If you can't depend on you, then don't bring something around that can depend on you.
The vlogs have been a bit lackluster. Well, what do you want?
Anything, everything. Do something. You've got the car. You're in Canada. Canada is so amazing. What is wrong with you? That you're not showing it to anybody, that you're not looking around for interesting things. You know what, Chantal? If you were ever serious about wanting to get away from food, take your focus off of food by going places, doing things. Give your mind something to do, something to distract itself away from those thoughts of food. If you sit in a room by yourself, your thoughts will gang up on you. And then once your thoughts gang up on you, then the bee monster isn't far behind. But if you want to get away from it, you've got to just short circuit those urges by doing different things. I have a male friend that he's been clean and sober for 35 years. And he's got a very successful formula with maintaining his sobriety. He gets up and immediately he's up and out of the house doing things all day. It's a very active lifestyle. And it's been very successful for him because it maintains his sobriety. He's not sitting home thinking negative thoughts, being bored, being stressed out. He's out of the house. If you get into a room and you stay there, the temptation to eat is going to be huge.
My life is lackluster. What do you expect?
Well, then change it. Stop complaining about it and change it. Nobody can change it but you. You with your 100,000 subscriber channel, making the money that you do, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. You've got more freedom than most people have. Why aren't you doing something about it? My life is lackluster, and that's whose issue? That's whose problem? Sounds like a you problem more so than a me problem. You got a car, you can go anywhere, you can do anything, so why aren't you? Everything you do is a choice. If your life is lackluster, if your content is lackluster, you can make another choice and change it.
No, I'm just kidding. That's the thing. My life is not lackluster. And my vlogs.
Yeah, well, we can't tell. Where's the excitement? I don't see you looking excited right now.
You just have to appreciate nature and stuff, you know?
You're only saying that because you're broke. Honestly. You appreciate nature right now while you're broke. But let's see if you appreciate nature after the 23rd. I bet you won't.
Thanks, guys. Kina. That big rock is cool. You seem sad and out of breath. I was, yeah. Sorry. Okay, well, I'll do a Q&A. What do you want to know?
And that's lazy. I'll do a Q&A. What do you want to know? When the last time you did that, when people were asking questions, you got snotty and you got rude. You got snotty and rude people who are asking questions.
Hi, Melanie Lynn.
So Ginger Witch is asking Shantal, I want to know why you aren't on Ozempic. Honestly, Ginger Witch, it wouldn't work for her. Okay, she's got a serious food issue. Ozempic, it's not meant to be like a diet thing. It's really meant to maintain your blood sugar. Her issue is a lot of it is up here. Okay, and the Ozempic cannot fix that. It's not what it was designed for. Chantal has taken it before. It made her feel nauseous. She didn't like the fact that she couldn't eat everything she wanted, so she got off of it. And I feel this way about the Ozempic. It would be a waste for her to take it. Let somebody else who cares about their health get access to and get the Ozempic versus someone like Chantal that does not care, that would just be wasting it.
I'm not on Ozempic because I was before. And I don't know. That's just I just came off of it and I didn't think about it since.
Yeah, she's not really on insurance, so she doesn't have any insurance that would pay for the Ozempic. And like I said, it's expensive. And it prevents her from having B moments. And she really wants those B moments. She doesn't want anything or anyone telling her no.
I don't know. I don't want to be on any more medications. I'd rather just take my chances.
So basically, she's saying, I don't care about my health. I don't care if I have a medical emergency. I don't care if I end up in the hospital or the morgue. I just want to do what I want. Okay, it's your life to do what you want. But at the same time, I think it would be fair of you to not come online and dump all of your issues and your medical stuff on people. If you are making the choice to wreck and ruin your body and your health, then don't come online and complain about it. Don't make it everybody else's stress, concern, and headache. Keep it to yourself. You want to wreck and ruin yourself? Do it privately. Don't share it in front of people. Don't show it to people. Don't use your form and your channel to get high in front of people and expect to be compensated for your stupidity. That's not what YouTube is for.
That's my right. Hi, Violet. Hey, Emma Peel. Hi, Living Laura.
And there's Yo Mama trying to. This is so calculated. Yo Mama's saying this in a super chat. I don't believe that Frenchie said that, but he's trying to start something. I think he's trying to start something. He's trying to get people angry at Frenchie. I don't know. But his super chat says French G called all reaction channels trash with zero content, and they should be ashamed for being monetized and collecting memberships. I don't believe that to be true. Yo, Mama, why are you trying to start fires? Why are you trying to start trouble, sir? That's not cool. I don't believe she said that. I really don't.
Oh no, drama with Yo Mama. You should rename your channel Drama with Yo Mama. French G called all reaction channels trash with zero content, and they should be shamed to be monetized and collecting memberships. Really? Thanks for the super chat. I'm really having trouble comprehending what you mean by that. Like, are you saying that she said that they're all trash channels?
You know, some of the people that come in Chantal's chat, they act like they know something. They act like they have receipts and the things they say are the truth. But what they're actually doing is making up lies and rumors to just get Chantal riled up or add to the conversation because she's not really coming up with things to say. Like some of the things that I've seen in her chat, people are just outright lying. You know, and that little super chat, it sounds like somebody's trying to get something started that ain't there.
Huh. No comment, man. No comment. There's no reaction. Taylor's new album. No. Please don't. No one talk about Taylor Swift in here.
What's wrong with Taylor Swift? Did I miss something?
Nice bubbles and marshmallows. I'm so happy for you. You must feel amazing. There's never going to be another extra bees. Okay.
Well, that's just because that was entertaining.
Yeah, there probably won't ever be. And no, there won't be any vlog with Pete.
Did you hear that, Pete? Did you hear that loud and clear, sir? She just said outright, no vlogs with you. So if there's any plans that you have in your head of your best friend is coming back to Canada, and maybe the two of you are going to live together and you're going to be back front and center in the foodie universe, and because that you're close to her, that means there's going to be attention to your channel again, and it's going to boost your views and boost your money. It sounds like that's not going to happen. As long as Shantal is doing this thing where she is saying that she's a newly reverted Muslim woman, she's married to somebody, and it's a big no-no for married Muslim women to be around men who are not their husband. They're not allowed to have men friends. That means you're out, sir. As long as she's continuing that path, she can't include you in her path. So if there's any plans you got with Shantal of I'm going to be near her and she's going to support me and spend money on me and buy the chicken nuggets, and it's not happening. It's not happening. Not happening.
Why didn't you like Ozempic? I don't know if I liked it.
Because she couldn't have B moments.
I remember if I liked it or not, honestly.
You didn't like it. I remember you getting on camera and saying, oh, I took the Ozempic and I feel queasy. Well, that's what happens when you eat incorrectly. So you didn't like it. You didn't like something stopping you from having those B moments.
It's rain. It's like sprinkling, but it like starts raining. Babe, where did you go?
You know what's really sad, Shantal, is that this is your chat. And you don't have a lot of people in your room. I'm watching the chat. The chat is not going that fast. How long have you been on YouTube? What, 8 years? You can't run a chat and moderate at the same time. I know plenty of reactors that, you know, it's nice when moderators are in there, but if there's a moment where there's no moderators, you handle your business. You can't handle your business. Where are you, Salah? I need you. Why? There's not that many people in the room.
Can we outhouse bees and prey bees? Oh, hi, Levy. A vlog with Pizza Buster. With Buster. No, we didn't fall out. What kind of haul? I lost a bit of weight with it.
Yeah, then you gained it all back. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to correct myself. She did not lose weight on the Ozempic. She tried, but she didn't. Where she lost the weight was after the Ozempic, she was on the nose candy diet. $4,000 worth of the snow that doesn't melt. That snow that doesn't melt, it's a powerful stimulant. And stimulants like, say, nicotine or caffeine or perhaps the nose candy, it it makes you feel not hungry. You don't feel hungry on those things. It cuts your hunger. So she's got a problem with food that is powerful. Therefore, it's going to take something equally powerful to shut down that bee monster and put it in the cage for a while. That is not the right way to handle a food issue. It is so not the right way. It's so dangerous, but that's the way she chose to handle it. So she would do the nose candy all day, keep herself up doing 12, 15-hour live streams, making us all crazy over here. We were all dying for sleep. And then at night, when she wanted to come back down, she would do the edibles and then she would have her bee moments. It was just a whole toxic cycle of being unhealthy. But here's something interesting, Chantal. Did you know that during the whole crackhead Olympics, when you were going wild and you wouldn't stop live streaming, I actually lost weight because of you. I lost 20 pounds just trying to keep up with you. So I was losing weight because of you. And I didn't even mean to. I wasn't even trying.
Do we have to talk about Ozempic? I don't like talking about Ozempic. I don't like any of the following topics, okay, in my stream.
Okay.
Taylor Swift.
What's wrong with Taylor Swift? Is she jealous of her? I think so.
Let's watch the numbers drop. Taylor Swift. Ozempic.
So you don't like Ozempic? Why? Because it means it's something that requires you taking care of your health. Okay, keep going.
No offense. What's
What else?
diabetes?
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So let's review. She doesn't like Taylor Swift. I think it's because like she's insecure and jealous. I do remember Pete's talking about how one day he said that Grace Kelly, the actress, he thought she was pretty. He just said that, and Chantal flew into a rage and threw a chair. Like, just him saying, "Oh, I think Grace Kelly is beautiful," and she is. She got mad through a chair. Now she's saying you can't talk about Ozempic, you can't talk about diabetes. Although those were two topics that she put on her channel and she used to elicit sympathy and use for content, but nobody can mention them now. Okay, keep going.
No, not Daniel Larson. Tracy. Yeah, exactly. Keep going to therapy. Why don't you like to talk about Ozempic? Bubbles and marshmallows. I don't know. I'm mostly kidding, but no.
Ooh, I love this comment. Ooh, I love this. Y'all see the comment on the screen? For those of you that can't, let me read it for you. A plus 2.0 says, okay, that's why your numbers are tanking. That's what people want to know about, how you're doing, not what you're eating. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. There it is. There it is, Chantal. There you go.
I don't know. Hi, Teardrop. How are you?
Bubbles and Marshmallow says, well, you have talked about these topics before. Yes, she did. And she monetized those topics and she used them to get sympathy and to make money. So when she decides she wants to talk about something to act as deflection points for her bad behavior or get her out of trouble, or she needs some kind of new content, then it's okay to talk about it. But the moment that she hears it from the audience and she's not talking about it, suddenly it's wrong. Do y'all see the hypocrisy in that? Because I think I do.
Thank you. Well, A plus, you can ask me questions. Petite Theo. Thank you.
Let me save some of you newbiesers the time and the trouble. Not that I want to do you any favors. I'm just letting you know. Shantal does not care about any of you. You're all just names on a screen to her. You are all people that could potentially send her a super chat. Hence the reason why she's being halfway nice to you right now. If she made a lot of money, trust me, the real Chantal would come out and she's in there. It's just that the real Chantal is hidden right now because she can't afford to be rude. Rudeness is very expensive. Rudeness is very pricey, and she can't afford that price tag. So she's buttoning her lip and keeping her mouth closed, stopping herself from being snotty. But trust me, she wants to be snotty. She wants to let out that attitude, but she don't care about y'all.
I look forward to your vlogs and life in Kuwait. Hopefully to see you in Thailand. Thank you. Mistress of the Dark. Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, that's something like I want to do in life. This, I don't want to say my whole ambitions and plans and things, but like generally when I think of things that would make me happy is feeling accomplished and finally tackling like getting healthy. Having a sick.
She's so vain and she's so stupid. Of all the things to worry about, and she's worrying about a six pack. She wants to have a six pack. Chantal, you've got so many other issues. Having a six pack should be way down at the bottom of the list. What about your enlarged heart? What about your out of control diabetes? What about your extreme fatty liver and your non alcoholic fatty liver disease and problems breathing? What about your out of control food issue? Shouldn't those be higher priority than a six pack?
Hi, babe. And traveling around with my husband, my handsomest man, traveling around and going to different countries.
Well, stop dreaming about it and help yourself and make it happen. Dreaming about it is easy. There's no work required, there's no effort. But if you just sit there and dream and dream and dream and you don't do anything, nothing's going to change ever.
If I ever have to live back here, or if, I would like to live like in a nice country area.
You could never. You could never. You could never be about that country life, Chantal. You could never be about that life where you're in the country or in the mountains and you have to rough it and you have to be self-sufficient. You ain't built like that, ma'am. You don't have the stamina for that.
Like when I was growing up, sorry, I've been itchy nose. When I was growing up, like the first house I ever lived in after being baptized as a baby was like Long Sioux, like that area. What you just be showing body and for
You know, I'm going to this is just my thoughts, my opinion, mine only. I think that perhaps Chantal and Yo Mama, they talk. And because she's had a strike on her channel, she wants to go off on people. She wants to talk about things, but she doesn't want to bring up those things directly. So she has him send super chats, and he does a super sticker, super chat, and brings it up first so that it looks like all she's doing is replying to it. She really wants to talk about certain things, but I'm sure that she's cautious right now because she just got in trouble. And if she gets in trouble again, that means another strike, which means out for 2 weeks, and that will absolutely tank her channel. So she's using other people to do certain things on her behalf. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong.
Content seller. Thanks for the super chat. No comments.
No comment, but look at that duper's delight smile on her face. Look at it. Look. He's doing exactly what she wants him to do. Exactly. And Shantal knows that people react to her. She knows. And maybe, and again, I'm just speculating here, maybe he's sending certain super chats in an effort to get things started between certain channels, like getting the channels talking about each other, warring about each other. Maybe that might be the intention. Maybe. Or to just bring up prickly topics. I don't know. But look at that duper's delight smile on her face. You're not as sneaky or as smart as you think you are, Chantal. You are so obvious. You use other people to do your dirty work. You've been doing that for years. You're always looking out for your channel and your income. That is priority to you, because without your channel, you're going to be in dire straits. So whenever possible, you recruit other people to do things for you, because if something happens to them, nothing happens to you. Your income is safe. You're using other people as your cat's paw.
But thanks for the super chat. 6-pack. I'm telling you, I had a dream a few years ago. When I was such a stupid dream. I was in this like opera house. Like a few years ago, I had a weird obsession with like, I don't know. I had these like weird dreams of being in an opera house. Cringe, I know. So then I was like running up and down, running like it was nothing, and running around. And I felt so good. I could work.
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
Chantal, you have a hard time remembering one moment to the next. So when you come on camera and you tell us about your dreams in detail, I don't believe it. These are just made up stories. What does Amberlynn Reed call them? Hootenberries. You're telling us hootenberries.
So I want to do that. And you know what? Like, seriously, it will happen. Trust me. You know how it can happen? I'll tell you. Sit-ups. Of course, diet, number one. You have to, be less bloated and stuff. And then, hold on. Yeah. Not hurt my stomach. Like, usually when I eat, like, poutine or pizza or really greasy food, I have, like, really bad, like, bloating and, like, stomach ache. I just feel good. Like, I ate, like, something good for me, though. Like, it doesn't hurt my stomach at all.
I'm so tired of hearing about her griping about her health and her stomach feeling bloated, and I don't feel good when I eat too much. These are all common sense things. Chantal, you make yourself suffer. You know when to stop eating. You just don't want to.
Weird, eh? Yeah, true, Kina.
Whatever her level of pain and suffering, she's gotten comfortable with it and she's not ready to change. When you are experiencing some kind of pain and suffering, when it gets to be too much, that's when you want to shut it down. It is possible to be a person and you live with pain and you get used to it and you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So Chantal's gotten used to a certain level of pain and discomfort in her body. But whatever it is, Whatever's going on, it's not great enough to make her wake up and change. Because it hasn't progressed past a certain point in her mind. She's probably thinking, I got this, I can handle it. I'm untouchable. You are touchable, Shantal. And I'm going to say something really kind of morbid, but it is what it is. And keep in mind, I'm not wishing anything upon you. You wish things upon yourself. Every single time you do a mukbang, you wish harm upon yourself. You do harm to yourself. Your body is ready to give way. And the way you're going, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I have never seen anybody such as you that is flirting so hard and so much with the Grim Reaper. All it would take is one time, Shantal, one. I mean, none of us know what's going to happen to us from moment to moment. None of us know how long we're here. But most people, they do what they can to extend their life and make their life happy and healthy. You're doing everything in the world to make your life unhealthy and unhappy. You keep making all these bad choices and decisions. As bad as your health is, if something happened, what can the doctors do for you? Every single one of your major organs is compromised. I talked to somebody who was an EMT, and they told me that if you are an EMT, a paramedic, somebody of a much bigger size, it's much harder to give them correct CPR. So there's that. Like everything that it would take to preserve your life or save your life would take much longer and be much more difficult. You are not helping your chances of surviving a medical event. So you might want to stop flirting with the Grim Reaper, because one day he might take you up on your offer. And if that happens, if you're on the other side of the grass where you can't see sun anymore, it's over. Game over. There's no making right decisions. There's no making other choices. It's a done deal. Once you're underneath the grass, who cares about a YouTube play button plaque? Who cares about 100,000 subscribers? Who cares about the Beezers? All of it is a done deal. It's over. So how much does your life and your channel matter to you? Do you want to hold on to it? Or do you want to continue flirting with the Grim Reaper?
We should do gym skin removal after weight loss. What? Yeah, listen to the doctor and quit. My hunky, handsome husband. There's certain things I miss daily about being with him, you know?
I'm sure he doesn't miss you. I did the tarot readings last night. He does not miss you. He does not miss you at all. Oh, he's so relieved that you're not there. He's enjoying himself without you. He wants you to stay gone because he's got the best of both worlds, Shantal. He gets your money and he doesn't have to deal with you physically. Every time you leave Kuwait, he celebrates. He's having a party right now. Did you know that?
Anyway. Hey, Fam Kiva. Affection, what's that?
You know, the moment you left Kuwait, he was able to walk in a room and inhale the oxygen because you weren't there to steal it. You suck all of the air out of the room. But now that you're not there, he can finally breathe. And if he has a lick of sense while you're gone, he would do this smart thing: pack up that entire place, get the cat, get the hamster, get his stuff, and get out of there. Block your number off his phone and just disappear into the wind. If he had any kind of sense, that's what he'd do. Just cut you off.
Oh,
He's got a window of opportunity. If he doesn't take it, I have no sympathy for him.
oh, I love it. Hi, Vamp Diva. Hi. Yeah, I don't know. Zoe, I don't think I'll change my mind again, but who knows? No, I won't. Because it took like a few trips, like a couple of trips, back and forth. But
Yeah, people are saying Salah should come to Canada. I don't know if he can, but let's just say, for devil's argument, that he could. Does anybody believe that Shantal wants him in Canada, where he would have access to a lot more freedom, be able to go places and do things, be active, be around women? Oh no. That would be her constant nightmare, wondering where he's at, who he's talking to. She don't want none of that smoke.
yeah.
Oh my God, yo, mama, will you just shut up with these super chats? Why are you being so rude, bro? Did Foodie pay you for this? Like, did she like set something up with you to where like she gave you money and she wanted to send super chats to have something to talk about, or you're talking the trash for her because if she did it, she'd get in trouble with YouTube? I'm just curious. Like, why are you're just working so hard to start a fire.
Vamp Diva.
For real.
Why are you talking baby voices? I don't know. Mama, you dreamed of a six-pack in French. I've dreamed the lumberjack blow up would come alive last night. Thanks, you, Mama. Anyways, you know what? I probably shouldn't judge somebody for having a blow-up boyfriend because I remember that doll.
Yep, I was about to say that. Thank you. Saved me the trouble, Foodie. I do remember. I remember indeed, ma'am. All that talk of getting I have to say it this way, a Sax doll. What the heck was his name? But it looked exactly like Salah. And I believe that particular doll cost, what, $6,000? You also wanted it customizable. You said you wanted it to talk to you and all this other stuff. You should have gotten the doll. If you got the doll, you would have been able to keep the doll and it would cost you far less money. Why didn't you get the doll? It would have been great content. Why didn't you get the doll? But no, you were talking about the doll and then you ended up with Salah. And I'm sure that that has been much more expensive and painful. Like, you made the wrong decision again.
Reginald? Yeah, I just remembered that. Oh, with my husband, I'm a freaking married Muslim woman. Okay, that's what I am now.
No, that's the fantasy that you're living, but it's not the reality. You're not married to him. I showed on Twitter, somebody posted, if you're on a tourist visa, you cannot get married to somebody. And if you're married, why do you have to keep leaving every 3 months, Chantal? You have to do that when you're on a tourist visa. If you were married, you wouldn't have to leave, but you keep leaving. So there you go.
And I like that. I know people think it's a cosplay and it's not who I am and I don't like it.
It isn't. It isn't who you are. We know who you are. You've been exposed to you for years. This is not who you are. You are hiding your true self. You're not being yourself. When you were with Natter, even before Natter, you were your authentic self. This may be what you want to be, but underneath you're still the same. You haven't done the work to change yourself. And you're unhappy. You're not a happy person doing this.
Well, that's not true. I do. I really do. It's just that moving on from your past is hard. So sometimes I get like the urge to just come back here and like address things or go go back to this kind of life for a while, but I just can't. I can't do it, you
The
know?
reason why you can't do it is because you screwed up. You got into the villa because of Pete's. You used Pete's credit to put his name on the dotted line so the two of you could get into the villa. His name was on the lease, yours wasn't because you had your bankruptcy going on and bad credit. So you used him to get into the villa. And then once you made the decision to leave Canada, to go to Kuwait to live with Salah, you gave you gave up the villa. You left it behind. You left behind your pets. You pulled up all roots in Canada. And now that you're back in Canada, it's been 2 years. Your credit hasn't improved. You don't have any money saved. You're coming back to Canada and you've got nothing to offer in the way of something you could use to get into your own place. And you're always one that you run from problem solving, responsibilities. You look at things and go, it's too hard. It's too hard. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm just going to run away rather than say, what can I do? How can I fix this? What are my options here? You don't challenge yourself and fix things. You run from things.
You know? Like I came here excited to bees again like we used to be.
Oh, God, stop. You're 40 years old. You are where you are because you're beesing. So is that the thing you should be doing? Nope.
Bees and I can't. I don't find the same pleasure in it. Like
I can't bees. I don't find the same pleasure in it. Is it because you don't have thousands of dollars to blow on gummies? You can't take 2 or 3 thousand milligrams in gummies at a time. You can't sit there and eat $100 in takeout at one single time. You can't eat that lobster mac and cheese. Is that why? Because you can't overindulge, therefore it's no fun? You know what I say to that? Ha ha. That's what I say to that. You did all of that for the longest. So if you're approaching it from the angle of almost like being a toddler, and oh, I just don't enjoy it anymore. You're sour and salty because you can't get the entire cake. You only get a slice. Well, that's your problem. That's your problem.
that I used to. And I think just too much has gone on in my life since then. And I'm
That and the fact that you just don't have the money you used to. And that's all due to the fact that you've gotten lazy and your content is boring. It's not as interesting as it once was, to the point where a lot of people that used to watch you, they've moved on. They're doing different things. I've heard that so much. People saying Chantal's boring. We're moving on to Naked and Laughing or whoever. You're not doing yourself any favors to keep people looking at you and interested in you. And if you don't care, that's okay. You don't have to care. You don't have to care. If you want to stay at a certain number of views and making a certain amount of money, that's your choice. But with your habit, Chantal, with your food habit, with the things you need and the things that are required to pay for, you need a certain amount of money. That means one way or the other, you have to work and make money. And you're not really trying on YouTube.
just kind of different now, you know? Guys, I'm 40,
And
okay? So, but surprisingly, because I never used to appreciate this before, the one thing I'm loving the most about this trip and is keeping me sane is like the nature. Like just
You know
being
what? Listen, I'm not crapping on nature. You guys know I love nature. There's nothing wrong with loving nature. But if you want my opinion, what's keeping her sane, as she calls it, is the fact that she does not have the money to go wild and go ham with the things that she would normally do. She can't eat as much food as she would like. She certainly can't go to the dispensary and buy a bunch of edibles. You know, the days of going to the green store and spending hundreds of dollars on green products, those days are over. She don't have the income for that. So it's just like it was when she was in Kuwait. It's not a matter of Shantal being in recovery for anything. It's a matter of her being dry. There's a difference. Being dry means you just don't have access to something or you can't buy something. Recovery means you can be around your temptations and you're just saying no to them. That is true recovery. Dry means you're away from something and you can't get to it. So she's dry. She's broke and she doesn't have the money to indulge in her bad habits, not to the extent that she could.
able to go out and go to different nature spots and just like have a really relaxing day to myself.
I mean, do I think it'd be a good idea for her to get into nature? Yeah, anything but the food. I mean, she's got a Twitch channel. She could do gaming streams. Do you know how much time you can eat up just playing a video game? I mean, that is a great distraction away from thinking about food. You're immersed in a game, you're playing it. Next thing you know, 6 hours have gone by. It's a wonderful distraction. Being out in nature and hiking and being near the beach, that's a great distraction. There's a lot of artistic and creative things you can do as a distraction. She doesn't need to be sitting in a room where she's alone with her thoughts and the temptation is right there because it's going to lead to trouble. She needs to get out of the house. She needs to stop being in an environment and around people that promote her addiction and just start short circuiting those urges.
Wheelchair. I haven't had a single wheelchair.
That's because you can't afford them. Those things were expensive. $75 to $100 plus a pop. Yeah, you can't afford that right now.
I do care about my health, Stephanie.
No, you don't. You're eating takeout food. You don't care about your health. Italian poutine, that's not caring about your health. Try again.
I do.
Nope.
Reginald, I'm not sure, Andre Marie. So why not live in two places? No. I can't leave that long. I get so I
You're 40 years old. You're not four. Do you get that? You're not a 4-year-old. You're not a child. Being a 40-year-old woman and you're just that clingy to a younger man, do you know how pathetic and sad that looks, Chantal? You're older than he is, and you're treating him almost like a father figure. Daddy, don't leave me. I don't know what to do without you. Save me, protect me. It's sick. You're older than him. It's so sad that he's younger and you're like, you take over and take care of me and take care of my life. Get it together.
like I'm married for a reason.
You're married because you don't want to die alone. There, I said it. You don't know how to be alone, Chantal. You don't like your own company. And you know you've gotten yourself to a place health wise where you cannot be alone. It would be dangerous. But instead of paying a professional caretaker or nurse, which would be expensive, you want to put your hooks in some guy and turn him into a cheaper caretaker. But you have no idea how exhausting you are. You want to drain somebody else's vitality away. because you're selfish and you don't want to take care of yourself.
Anyway, you matured. Yeah, I think so, Emma, a little bit. You want an old I want an old
Light says you keep running away from things that give you grief. Yeah, because she's weak. She's a big old marshmallow. She's soft. And she can't make up her mind. One minute she's tough and hard. The next minute she's soft and she can't take criticism.
old people Florida condo. Still be in Canada, not the old life. Start a new adventure there. No. No, I prefer Kuwait over Dubai. Dubai. No, I like Kuwait. Like I do. Why is that? I know it's hard for people to understand. Like I said before, I went to the Middle East. I didn't ever fathom going. You know? And yeah. That just feels like my home now, like my
It's not your home. You don't live there. You're a tourist. You don't live there.
place. I can't believe you brought up Reginald. Yeah. It's hard to have make people understand what you feel when there's only so much I can say. You know.
Shantal, be real. You go to Kuwait because you're hiding from the tax man. You're running away from your problems, but yet another set of problems followed you. So I guess that plan was not successful.
The real housewife of Kuwait.
Is she
You're
almost
outing
done?
so. He gave up his keyboard. No, he plays still.
You know what, Chantal? Look, I don't know what's going on with you. I did my readings. You're in flux right now. I don't even think you know what you're doing. I think you've gathered people around you and you're borrowing off those people's resources and you're calling in favors and you've got one hand on Salah and one hand on Nader and you're supporting them both financially and you're giving lip service to both of them, but neither one of them care as long as they keep getting money from you. You have no idea what you're doing. But if you go back to Kuwait, that's a recipe for disaster because you're going to go from bed rotting to bedridden. Summer is here. The temperature is climbing over there. You can't go outside. So you're going to be in that apartment, unable to go out, not wanting to go out, alone with yourself, alone with your thoughts. You're going to eat. And if you gain another 50 pounds, you will be bedridden. At least in Canada, it's not as hot and you can be more active. So make your choice.
Oh, for me. I love it. Bye. All black. Thank you, Greta. Love seeing you quit and I love seeing you in Canada. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Teardrop. A bookable look? Privacy.
Okay, she's being boring. We're going to cut it off here. We're going to cut it off here if we're almost done anyway. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'm still curious about the live she's got scheduled at 9. It's like that called lunch. That's just weird. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.